Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton here with Brandon. Three more games in the Weiss Schwarz Invitationals happen today. Day 6 of round 1 over and done with. Let's get right to it. Adrian and Matteo, Revue Starlight versus Sword Art Online. That game was not streamed, but Brandon, you were able to reach out and get some information for us.
Yes, I was. I talked with both Adrian and Matteo, and Adrian ended up taking game one. He actually was able to do this through just pushing through with Twin Drive and that additional +1 Soul Beater, just being able to deal that extra chip damage against Matteo, and doing so with a really well compressed deck. From there, able to set up really well for the level 3 end game, pushing himself up from 2-4 to get to level 3 to swing for the win. As we enter into game 2, Matteo ends up taking this one. Adrian, both players admit, ran into a little bit of just poor luck with 5 climaxes in the bottom 8 cards of his deck. He had a hard time recovering from that, and in the end died to vanilla swings while Matteo was still at level 2. It didn't help that Matteo also had 3 turns with Yuki to be able to just keep generating resources. Everything was going Matteo's way that game. As we enter into game 3, Adrian again gets pushed up early, and Matteo seemingly struggling with resources in hand. Adrian gets up to 3-3 and decides to, based on his deck compression and situations, to push off the final swing one more turn in hopes that he'll live that turn. It just did not end up coming to pass as Matteo came in for the swing and stuck the damage, getting the level 3 finishers that he needed. So Matteo ends up taking the series 2-1, pushing him further along in the winner's bracket.
Second match of the day featured Teya playing BanG Dream Poppin Party, taking on Matt playing Fate. A lot more intriguing of a matchup than I think I initially anticipated on paper. First game featured a lot of careful navigation, not a lot of information in this game. Matt stock swapped Teya and then refreshed both of them at level 1.
But can we talk about the counter move that Teya pulls by not revealing anything that happened with that stock swap?
Oh yeah, there was no information to be had. Teya was able to loop her Christmas Kazumis, was able to maintain some board presence. Matt was able to close without a finisher because of that stock swap, but I think Teya played that one out about as well as she possibly could have. I think Fate is the favorite in this matchup, and despite the deck basically getting exactly what it wanted in terms of disruption, Teya did a good job keeping Matt on the back foot anyway, and was able to maintain board, almost able to take this one. Matt able to finish despite not getting his finisher on board. Game 2, a little bit different. Teya kind of fell behind from the word go. Matt was able to refresh and compress, did exactly what he wanted to do, was able to control what was in his clock, had really good hand control, basically imposed his will on the game from very early on, was able to close it out and take the 2-0 win, advance to the next round.
Which brings us to the third game of the day, which was Kit versus Marko, KonoSuba versus SAO.
Yeah, so game 1, Kit had a lot of resources, was able to fill the board, build a lot of stock, had a lot of cards, and Marko basically just wasn't able to keep pace. KonoSuba established a board presence and was able to hold it, closed out the game, more or less leading the whole way. Game 2, Kit hit the ground running, pushed for damage. Marko was swinging into empty lanes and couldn't get damage to stick. And for the end game, Kit filled up his board, burned for 5 with the Mega Mean, and got it to stick. So KonoSuba hits hard and fast. That's what it did in this game, and Sword Art just couldn't keep up. So most of the bracket is full now going into round 2. Only 3 games left, one of which is scheduled for tomorrow. Broderick and Ian, that game at 6 o'clock over on Burn 1. The other 2 games have not yet been scheduled. Check the description for any updates that we get. But yeah, round 2 shaping out to be an interesting one. 3 KonoSubas have advanced. 2 of the 3 AOTs have advanced already as well. We've got some Sword Art in round 2. Some good matchups, and we'll talk about those more when we get a little bit closer. But for now, this is the bracket. Only game that is scheduled, 6 o'clock, Burn 1. Broderick playing Goblin Slayer, Ian playing AOT. Until then, like, comment, share, subscribe, and join us again tomorrow as we break down the rest of these games in round 1. Until then, have a good one.
We'll see you then.